Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Financially Forever After, a Love and Money podcast. We are your hosts, Lindsey and
Brett, the moneymaker, Shunkwiler.
Here in the new year of 2026 to bring you some relationship advice, trending things that may or may not have happened yet, on things you were going to discuss.
How can they be trending if they haven't happened yet?
Trending in the past things that are now coming back up. For instance, this is a little bit old news.
Like those jeans, the mom jeans go over your belly?
Yeah.
Like that?
I swore I would never wear those, and they're so comfortable.
Love them.
You know what? She'll never come back are those low-rise jeans where you're like bent over and your butt crack was hanging out. Let's not bring those back ever. Ever. Nobody wants to see a mother wearing those, Brett. That's not advisable.
No
But anyway, talking about past things that have happened, this is a little bit of old news, but the P. Diddy documents are out right now. Documentary.
Documentary, yeah.
And you obviously haven't seen it.
No, I wanted to watch it.
You're not a big documentary.
Said no.
You can watch it with me. I've only watched the first few episodes. I got busy
like 4, I think.
with the holiday season, but the amount of pettiness and grudge that 50 Cent holds over P. Diddy is beautiful. Like, this guy has been beefing with him for years and years and years and just compiling all this dirt on him. And then he's able to just release it on him. Like,
Is that what this documentary is about?
Yeah. So it's basically, yeah.
So this is 50 Cent telling the world
It's
what
not just
P.
50
Diddy
Cent. It's a lot of old interviews and things like that, but you have to watch it. It's pretty funny to see how mad he is at P. Rightly so. P. Diddy's not a nice person, but yeah, things that happened in the past, they sometimes make their way around again.
Okay,
so, there you go. I was thinking, as people are finishing up holiday seasons and road trips and being with family, it made me think the other day we were running errands and I was just munching on crackers in the car.
It was a date. Weren't we on a date?
We were on a date, yeah.
Yeah, we were on a date because we were headed downtown.
We were on a date. And I was just munching on some crackers, scrolling on my phone, and you were driving, and I'm holding out my cracker.
So yeah, I'm driving here on the driver's side.
And it's in my left hand, scrolling on my right hand. And all of a sudden I go to bite my cracker and it was gone. He had eaten the cracker.
Hey, you shouldn't have been scrolling on your phone. You should be paying attention to me. It's a date and you're on your phone. Get off your phone.
I literally paused for a second, like, did I eat that? I didn't remember.
You were on your phone prior to that.
And it made me think today as I'm driving my daughter around, as usual, 13-year-old, she pops in her earbuds immediately to ignore me and be on her phone. And I was just talking out loud and she didn't hear a word I said. So finally, I just kind of like pumped the brakes a little bit. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, now you know that I exist. I'm so glad. And I was like, babe, you only have like a year or two left with me. This is our time to chat and like talk about our days. She's like, I'm not driving. And I was like, you're going to be 16 in a couple of years. She's like, well, Dad could drive me. I'm not driving.
Yeah, right. She's driving herself.
She does not want to drive. I've never met a kid that was so anti-driving. Our son couldn't wait to get in a car and start.
I actually know a handful of people who didn't drive.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't tell me that. I don't want her to be one.
I remember going to high school. There was one of my buddies who was in my grade. He was a sophomore because I was 16 at the time and could drive. And his older brother that was 2 years older and a senior never have ever driven.
So who drove him? His little brother?
No, I think parents all the time. Yeah.
No way.
I mean, maybe his little brother, but he didn't ever want to drive.
No.
That ain't happening on our side. No, she's driving.
I'm like, hon, you need to have the freedom. Plus, it's your stuff we're having to drive you to. It's payback. You need to start driving on your own.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just couldn't believe that she was like, I'm not driving ever. But I'm like, well, you better move to New York City or Chicago or somewhere where you don't have to drive.
You got to walk,
because we live in the middle of the Midwest. So you're driving. That's what we do.
Deal with it.
But yeah, let's get into our relationship stuff today. we had a few questions left over from a couple episodes ago from people who had written in.
Okay.
So I want to go over those questions today and pick your brain. And again, we're not relationship experts by any means. We are not counselors. We're not therapists. We don't know everything about relationships, but we have been together over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
We can give our advice and what works for us. It might not work for you, but take it with a grain of salt. Hopefully some people can use what
something
we
sticks
share
and will help you out. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, let's go into the first question. This question is written in by Jill. She wrote, "Why does my husband insist on calling me buddy? Like, I love you, but stop."
What?
That just makes me think of our kids calling me bruh.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, I am your mom.
Yeah, don't call me
not brah. But I don't know how I would feel about you calling me buddy.
No, yeah, that's weird.
That is really weird. It's almost like he sees her as like a best friend.
It's like it's your friend. It's your colleague. Like some of you hang out with, but like
you're my best friend. You're my bestie.
Yeah.
But I don't call you buddy.
No.
Maybe to him though, it's his like a nickname. Maybe he's thinking it's, hey buddy, my little buddy, and it's a nickname to him.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I think, Jill, because it's your husband, even if it was your boyfriend,
just tell him.
Yeah, tell him. Say, man, that's not. Or flip it. Start calling him
something he didn't like.
Something he doesn't. Call him brah. Maybe like that.
Maybe he would like that.
But maybe come up with something that you're like, I know he wouldn't like this, and start using it. Is that petty? See, that's is why we're not
absolutely
counselors.
petty.
I think it would work though. It's reverse psychology. Just utilize a name.
All the ways that we teach people to
like,
not
see,
do it. Do it this way.
You don't like that, do you? I don't like when you call me buddy. So let's both stop. And then maybe
Princess Consuela, Banana Hammock.
There you go.
Old Friends episode.
So there you go, Jill. Again, we're not experts, but hopefully that helps you out in some regards. I think that's,
be petty. Good job.
That's a little bit funny, but this one's a little bit more serious. And actually, she uses a term that you don't know, so I want to pick your brain after this too. So this was written in by Taylor. She wrote, "My boyfriend and I have been together 6 months now, and both come from homes that didn't have stable relationships to kind of go by. So I don't know if we're communicating with each other or trauma dumping on each other. How do you tell the difference?" So Brett, I know there was a term in there that you have no idea what it means.
No,
take a guess what you think trauma dumping
is. I
mean,
it seems pretty self-explanatory.
It does, but you just
it's like, they had trauma from back in the day, and they're telling each other about how terrible their lives were, and now they're like, oh, is that communication, or is that like us just like spewing all our information?
Yeah. So the technical term for trauma dumping is unloading intense traumatic experiences or heavy emotions onto someone without their consent or without warning. So the person isn't really prepared for it is what trauma dumping is. So it's like, you ask me, how am I doing? And all of a sudden,
how was your day today? And it's like
I'm like, blah, blah, blah.
I don't think that's like trauma. I mean, it's just telling somebody.
Depends. It depends on how deep it gets. So if you start saying, well, I had a terrible day because as a child, my parents, blah, 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 fill in the blank, that could be a little form of trauma dumping. So I guess her question is, since they both come from homes that didn't really have a good knowledge of what a true relationship should look like, she doesn't really know if they're communicating with each other or if it's just trauma dumping. What would be your advice for her for that question?
So I almost think back to last week's episode on setting goals and saying, hey, guess what do you as the female in the relationship, what do you as the male in the relationship think a good relationship should be, and what does that entail? And is that you go out once a week, once a month, who does what, and just have that open communication, open conversation on here's our goals for our relationship, and then decide how to best proceed from there.
Yeah, that's good. That's good information, I would say. And so I want to go into this a little bit deeper, maybe not necessarily what she's intending, or maybe it didn't even apply to her. But let's say you're coming from a family where your parents were divorced. How do you think moving forward, if you're looking at a good, healthy relationship, if you come from a divorced family and not really having the role models of parents who have stayed together, how do you think that applies to like your relationship in the future? Say you're coming from a I don't know, a family where they didn't stick it out.
I mean, I think you would see the brokenness that happened and the heartache that happened from the divorce, more than likely. Now, granted, there's can be some divorces that end better than what other ones do, but I would say to seek out couples that didn't get divorced and seek out couples that, you have a good relationship and like, hey, what have you done?
Yeah.
Like, what have you done to get to this point in time? Or what obstacles, what hurdles did you have to overcome? Because let's be real, you and me, it ain't peachy all the time.
No.
Right? We've had plenty of arguments and battles and things to go over and things to get through. At the end of the day, you just realize you're better with each other than, apart from each other. And, you love the person in spite of all their flaws.
Yeah.
Because you love them.
Exactly.
And it's just, I don't know. I would say for them to look at a couple or get to know a couple or talk with a couple that has had that healthy relationship and see what they can do to try to mimic that based on their relationship, because their relationship is not going to be that other couple's relationship. No two people are ever alike. It's just, you got to find out your own way to do it.
Absolutely. That's good advice. And then also taking a step further, maybe seeking, counseling if you really wanted to unload with the traumatic stuff, maybe talking to a professional about it before getting into it with one another. And maybe setting some good, healthy boundaries for communications moving forward. That might be a good place to start. If you're religious, maybe seeking out a pastor or priest or, someone who can guide you in the faith path as well. So hopefully that helps to answer that question, Taylor. Thank you so much for writing that in. I know that maybe not was the easiest thing to write in, but we appreciate it. I had one more to end kind of on a funny note because it also applies to something one of my girlfriends just talked about to me. So I thought this was a good one. This was written in by Liz. She asked, my ex had texted me, "I hope you're good." She said, "I was good until that. What should I do?" And it made me laugh because a friend of mine, a similar situation just happened where she has broken up with the guy. Oh. It's been weeks, actually probably months. And he out of the blue just texted her. And it was just random and weird. And she was okay with the breakup. She thought it was amicable. And then he out of the blue texted her. So just using her experience.
What was the text? Was it good? Like, I hope you're
similar.
good?
It was similar. Yeah, it was similar. So I told her, and maybe it applies to the same person for Liz's ex, but I was like, it's got to be he's missing you. I mean, you're moved on. You kind of buried that hatchet, but it sounds like he's either bored, can't find a new person, or he just misses you. I mean, there's bottom of the line there.
I don't know what else it would be.
I know, but coming from a guy, what would you think? Would you do something like that if you were broken up?
I mean, I don't know any other reason other than he missed her. I don't know what else it would have possibly been.
Yeah. And then flip side, how would you respond if you were Liz, if you were the person they were reaching out to?
Yep.
Short and sweet.
Yes, I am. Living the dream.
What if, okay, she didn't say though, what if he's the one that broke up with her and he's checking in? Like, you good? Are you okay? But also that's also reopening a wound. Like, why would you do that to that person?
Yeah.
Don't ask me if I'm good after you broke my heart.
They make the feel like, oh, well, I'm trying to be a good person to check.
Yeah.
In. Don't be a good person. Yeah. I'm getting over you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't like being a good person means don't communicate with me again.
Yeah. Opposite of what we usually talk about, which is good communication. In this case, no communication.
No communication is good communication in that example.
Yeah. So, that's a little weird, Liz. But yeah, if he's the one that broke up with you, I say don't reply, just ignore, move on. If you were the one that initiated it, I would literally say what you said. Yep, short and sweet.
Yep.
Doing great. Bye. I wouldn't even lead into like, how are you doing? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Because then you're going to open a
Yeah.
can of
Don't
worms.
even reply back anything other than something short and sweet that,
Yeah.
there's no more communication that can happen from that.
Just shut it off.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, there you go. There's a few questions left over from a couple episodes
What would you
ago.
have said?
Same thing.
You said, yep.
Yeah. Keep it short and sweet or ignore it. But I don't know.
I would have just said, yep.
It's just, yeah. Some people don't get the hint though. So there you go. If you reply, they might just be like, oh, he's responding.
And then I would just keep short replies.
Yeah.
Or an emoji or a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Just to drive them nuts.
They'd eventually get the hint.
Yeah. You're very analytical brained in that regard, but there you go. So thank you for writing in for those questions. We appreciate everybody wanting to pick our brains. We hope we gave you some good advice. If you have any future questions, maybe regarding relationships or finance stuff, where can they ask those questions?
Oh, I thank you for bringing that up.
Yes, you're so welcome.
We'll go to our website, financially4everafter.com. You can ask a question, leave a comment, or you can send something in asking about relationship stuff, or ask for a 15-minute consultation with myself or one of my two advisors.
Yep. Or you can direct message us on any of the platforms, social media, and follow us on YouTube if you want to watch these episodes, because of course, why wouldn't you want to see this in visually and all the beautiful colors and outfits we come in, especially the last Christmas episodes.
If you're listening, look at the last, 3 episodes that we've done.
Yeah.
We were dressed pretty amazingly.
Yeah.
Just put it that way.
There you go. So, all right, what do you got for today?
Okay.
Finance?
Okay, so, this is first handful weeks of the year here, 2026. And started out, we talked about, last week, we talked about goals and setting goals and how to do that and setting smart financial goals. And then you and I gave a kind of a test run through showing how, hey, if we want to save for our son for college, how would that look in setting those goals? So SMART stand for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. So with that said, we're going to go to the last one. We're going to go to the time-bound part. And we're going to talk about various different goals. And are they short-term goals? Are they medium-term goals? Are they long-term goals? And then why and what should they be? And then how to best obtain those from a financial aspect. So as we look about this, I'm just going to throw out some goals from a financial aspect that a lot of people try to do or might try to accomplish. So for instance, start of the year, some people do like a spring cleaning thing, but a lot of times at the start of the year, say, hey, I want to get things right and head in the right direction. So one of them would be clean up. Actually, I need to go to duration. So short-term goal is a goal that is less than 1 year. So it could be like budget and save in a bank or account or a money jar or something of that nature. You want to have something that is less than a 12-month duration. That's considered a short-term goal. Medium term, 1 to 5 years. Pretty simple. And then long-term, anything over 5 years. So as we look at this, I want you to tell me if you think this should be a short-term, a medium-term, or a long-term goal. Okay.
Got it.
All right. So clean up bank accounts, credit cards, brokerage accounts, which means you have a lot of accounts and you might be like, gosh, I just want to simplify my life and I want it to be simpler and easier. Do you think that should be a short-term, medium-term, or long-term goal?
Short-term.
Yeah, I would agree too, because you might say, all right, well, if I'll do one this year and I'll do one next year and I'll do it's not hard to close it out. You might have 2 or 3 you can combine into one. There's been a lot of times I've seen people that have like brokerage accounts, which is just like a Schwab or Fidelity or some type of account like that. You say, hey, you have 2 or 3 of the same type of account. Like, why? Like you might be paying fees a couple different times where you might be able to consolidate and make your fees cheaper. So it's simple. It's easy. It's something if you need help, we can help you out on that. Next, why isn't my account earning anything? So I've had people that have received like a death benefit from a spouse and they have left it in the checking account. And I'm like, well, how long have you had this in your checking account? They're like, well, I just didn't want to have to worry about it. It's been there for a while. I'm like, well, how long is a while? About 7 years. Excuse me? 7 years? That's a very long time. I go, and it's sitting in your checking. Yeah. I'm like, you didn't earn interest for 7 years.
You don't earn any interest in a
You
checking?
do, but it's like, all
Very
right,
small amount.
0.1% or 0.2, like something super
So
small.
basically like putting it in the back of their backyard
Gosh.
in a coffee can. It's about the equivalent to that.
So if you get like a life insurance death benefit, do you think you should fix that on the short term or the long term?
I would say short term.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, right away. She made this a long-term problem.
So, was it benefits meaning that he had life insurance?
So you had life insurance, and life insurance, as somebody passes away, they get a death benefit. If they have that it passes on to your beneficiaries, all tax-free.
So she didn't need any of that money to cover like funeral
She had income, and like she was fine on it, but she had like, it was $700,000.
Wow.
$700,000 sitting for 7 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. So did she just not know, like not working with an advisor?
Yeah, she wasn't working with an advisor, and
we talked about this in a previous
out of sight, out of mind.
episode.
She just didn't worry about it.
I think it was sons that received their mother's benefits. And you mentioned the next steps for when someone passes. So would you automatically say, if you're not currently meeting with an advisor, you need to make sure that happens? Because in this case, it's like, what advisor would let that slip through the cracks?
I don't know any advisor. People don't know what they don't know sometimes, or they just put it off, and they're like, I'll make a decision to worry about that down the road.
So she could have been working with an advisor, just put it off?
Well, no. She wasn't working with an advisor, but like, I'm just saying, indecision is a decision. Yeah. Like, by deciding like you're not going to worry about it or not going to do anything about it, like, and you made that decision.
Money she could have
my gosh
from that.
Oh yeah. She probably cost herself easy $500,000 of during that time frame.
That's really
it depends on how it's invested.
In my stomach for her. I feel so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really sad.
Yep. So
well, thanks for that downer story.
Well, hey, you know what? You could be better off. Just meet with somebody that knows what they're talking about, and they can get you set up correctly to get you head in the right direction. So a lot of people don't know what they don't know, so meet with somebody that could help you. So if this is a goal of yours, creating multiple income streams. So what would be a way that you could create multiple income streams?
We've talked about this, and you like, I think Ubering.
You could? Yeah.
Uber Eats. Let's see. People or what's the Walmart and lots of places do like grocery shopping for people now. You like delivery. Starting like an Etsy store that you just like sell your little crafts online.
You get excited, selling.
Opening up a food truck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so is that a short-term, medium-term, or long-term goal?
That could be long-term.
Could be short-term too.
It could be short-term.
Because you might say, hey, guess what? Oh, I'm only doing it to pay off the debt from the holiday season.
Okay.
Doing an Uber or doing something.
Part-time job. Yeah.
Yep,
okay.
but it could be, and it could be like, hey, well, I want to get a rental property. And that could be a medium-term deal. I only have it for 1 to 5 years. It could be a long-term deal. You don't typically get a rental property for less than a year, so it wouldn't be a short-term deal. But you need to figure out what is your goal. Going back to the SMART thing, like it's got to be measurable. It's got to be, and there's got to be some type of time associated with it. So, what are you ultimately trying to accomplish in this time-bound, income stream? Next, insurance to cover contingencies. So if you were to get insurance, let's just say life insurance, would that be a short-term or long-term deal?
I am going to go with long-term.
You would like to hope so. You would like to hope so because you want to plan on somebody living for a long period of time. So, but you would feel the coverage in the short term, right? You're like, hey, there's this gap, this need. And a lot of people don't realize that they actually need it until they sit down with people like, oh, I'm going to be perfectly fine. But yeah, but I met with a couple yesterday, and they're like, I don't know if we need life insurance. I inherited some of the money or whatnot. I'm like, well, you're making $90,000 a year. And if something happens to you, you got a 4-year-old and you got a 7-year-old. And so therefore you'd be leaving your wife out $90,000 a year. I go, just think $90,000 a year for 10 years. I go, that's $900,000. And you have a 4-year-old. Like that doesn't even get them, like that gets them to 14. Like they're in high school. I'm like, you need some insurance. You need to make sure that you cover that gap and make sure that your child's taken care of and your family's taken care of. And they're like, Never thought of that. I just thought I had 400,000 and I was good. I'm like, no, you're not good. We need to make sure that we fill that hole for you.
Yeah.
So fills that short term for a long term need as well. Let's see. So another goal would be the start of a new year. End addictions. What do you think those would be?
I mean, I know people who struggle with addictions. It can be a long-term thing because you're continuously fighting that battle. But short-term being that you go get those support groups and seek help for it. So it's a combo, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, honestly, it could be ongoing things, short, medium, or long-term. Yeah. Emergency fund. How much do you think you should have an emergency fund? We've covered this a couple different times. Remember?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel like it's a certain amount of your like gross annual
Yeah. You're getting the words. Yep. Gross annual. Yep. Typically.
20%?
Not quite. So you want to typically have about 50% of your gross annual earned income.
50%. Wow. Okay, that's
liquid.
More than I thought.
So simple. If you make $100,000 a year, to make it simple,
at 50 grand,
you want to have about 50 grand. Now that doesn't mean it's got to be 50 grand sitting in the checking account. Could be money market, could be CDs, could be brokerage account. Like there's a lot of different ways it can be liquid for you. But hopefully that emergency fund covers the short term, also the medium term, and the long term as well. Get out of debt.
I mean, depends on how much debt you're in. You could be looking at a long-term goal of maybe paying a little bits at a time for a while, or it could be a short-term if you have the money set aside where you can maybe start taking a chunk out of that right away. So again, I think it depends on the person.
It depends on the debt too, right? I mean, credit card could be short-term if you don't pay it off right. Could it be long-term? Typically, house is a long-term type of deal. Vehicles could be a medium term.
Yeah.
So everything's a little different, depends on your situation. But once again, set those goals to try to accomplish that. Set those SMART goals. So specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and then time bound. A couple more here. Plan for early retirement. Let's just say you're 50 and you want to retire at 57. What would that be?
You're planning for early retirement. I would say that's a medium goal. You're already medium through your life. You only have maybe 15 years
You might be
left.
over the hill. Like usually 40.
I know, but I would say average 65. Usually when people retire, so you get about 15 years. I would say a medium goal.
You're not too far. I mean, usually we talk medium 1 to 5 years is kind of our earlier definition. But, I don't think you're off too far on that one. So, 7 years out. So, once again, you say, all right, if I'm going to retire at 57, how much do you currently have?
57, that's young.
Yeah, I said you were 50 in this example. So 50 to 50. So if you retire at 57, then you got number one, you got to say, all right, you got to bridge the gap from 57 to 59 and a half if it's all in like 401ks or IRAs because you can't touch that money until 59 and a half unless you're a federal employee. Then you get a little bit early and there's some loopholes depending on your situation. But most of the time it's 59 and a half. So you got to bridge the gap. Got to have enough liquidity, got to have enough income. You might need multiple income sources. So lots of factors to come into play. So that would probably be a medium to long-term goal there. And then last one here is plan to do work that you love.
Oh, geez. I mean, this for me has been a long-term goal.
Long-term goal, there you go.
41 years in the making, babe. 41 years.
You mean 25 again.
That's so nice of you. Our kids remind me every day that I'm old. So
meanies. They're meanies.
I would say no matter what your stage. I mean, I've heard of 80-year-olds going back to college.
That's true.
So I don't think you're ever too old or too young.
Yeah, just find something you enjoy. Find something you love. One of the things here that I want to bring up is having an accountability partner can be good for finances, can also be good for any other goals that you set.
That a nudge to yourself on my behalf?
For what? What do you mean
by that? An accountability partner.
Well, I mean, you would be my accountability
I know,
partner.
but I think you're more mine in many cases.
It's very true.
You're my head's in the clouds and yours is more your feet are more on
Like,
the
I want to do
ground.
this. How much that cost? Oh, it'd only be $8 million. I'm like, okay, let's set a measurable
8
goal.
million. I've never.
You wanted to get some land to do a building and have a parking lot and have all this stuff. Barn, like
horses.
And I'm like, okay, let's do the math on all of this.
Math ain't mathin'.
We do well, but that's a big number.
I know, but we'll see. You just
never know. But, check in, and it could be in the sense of, hey, I want to save for retirement. Accountability partners, your spouse or significant other, your accountability partner could be your advisor, and staying on top of that. So make sure you're doing check-ins with them regularly, whether it be for a personal goal or whether it be for some type of financial goal.
Circling back to my life goals.
Oh, gosh.
I think you know this one, but I haven't reminded you in a while. It's when we retire and our kids are grown that we're going to go. Remember that little island, Tortola, in the Virgin Islands that we went to? It was tiny, tiny, tiny.
Is that the one with the rum cake? The rum cake?
No, you had the rum ringer, and we went around on a bus.
Oh, that one.
So it reminded me because we went by, it was just this little shack. It was right on the water, and it was open air bar. But I was like, one day I'm going to retire and run and manage and own one of these things.
You're not wrong.
It's just fun because people drove through constantly because they were on a tour or they're just townies or whatever. I'm like, how fun. You're retired. You're just chilling on the beach.
I think it'd be fun for a little while.
Serving some, it'd be like Cocktail. Have you ever seen the movie Cocktail?
Yeah.
I'd learn how to flip them in the air like Tom Cruise. I think that would be...
That was legit.
A lot of fun. Good weather because we're not used to that in the Midwest. It's cold here all the time, most of the time, or it's really hot in the summer. And then you got the ocean. And then you're making drinks and you're meeting new people all the time. Sounds like a dream.
Maybe you try for a month and we'll see. We'll go from there.
So
that would be a long-term goal.
There you go. There's a long-term goal in RBF. Well, there you go. Some good tips moving into our new year of 2026. If you have any further questions, again, where can they ask those questions?
Ask any financial question. Go to financially4everafter.com, financially4everafter.com. Ask a question, leave a comment. And what else?
And on that social media, make sure you're following us, liking, subscribing. Don't miss our videos that we sometimes put out because, we've been together a long time. Sometimes we get goofy and silly. And
what we get? Over 50,000 here.
TikTok videos.
Recently, 50,000 views here in the last couple days.
Instagram posts. So, make sure you check it out. Thanks again for joining us on another episode of Financially Forever After, a Love and Money podcast.
Securities offered through Great Point Capital, LLC, member SIPC. Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Acadia Life Insurance. Schunkweiler Financial is an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through AE Wealth Management, LLC, acronym AEWM, a registered investment advisor. AEWM does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Acadia Life Insurance are not subject to investment advisor requirements. AEWM and Acadia Life Insurance are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Schunkweiler Financial is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein, provided by third parties, have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable. but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Schunkweiler Financial.